Hi everyone, this is Bret Valdez here with the Orca Song Tarot, and I'm here with the
The
lovely
Kinkii
Kinky
Witch.
Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she is new on my channel. I know you guys are used to my friend Sheraton. This is another good friend of mine, and we thought that we would come on here and do a little reading on what it means for Pluto to be in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to say about that?
I know, right? I have this energy of this is, I'm, so guys, Spirit talks to me in song a lot in my head. And sometimes it's just like songs that you're like, really? So the song they just started singing, I had the time of my life. Like
Oh,
that's the
to
song that
their
started
dancing
going on.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it is going to be a time of our lives. It's going to be different. But I'm truly getting that this is going to be, we're like, yeah, we were waiting for this.
Well, it's interesting because you know how that song from the musical Hair, I think it is. Yeah, it's Hair. The song The Age of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
the Age of Aquarius that they were singing about.
Yes.
So, like children today are going to be born with this placement. And I don't think people realize how rare that is because Pluto doesn't come back to a sign
Mm-hmm.
for about 248 years.
Yeah.
So we, all
Mm-hmm.
of us, will never again see after Pluto leaves Aquarius, which
And we're
is not
probably,
not until 2043 that even happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think about it,
And
some people won't make it out of the age of Aquarius.
some people won't make it out, or some people will be
Yeah.
forever in Pluto and Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a big deal when Pluto changes signs.
Yes.
And I particularly feel like Pluto and Aquarius is a special placement.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wrote down a couple things because what we're going to do here, um, we don't want to go so much into the astrology of Pluto and
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius because we feel like that you can find that anywhere. You can Google that, what that
Mm-hmm.
means for you and your sign. You
Yeah.
can find that all over YouTube. But
Yeah.
what we want to do is a go ahead.
Now I was gonna say there are a lot of really awesome astrologers on
Yes.
YouTube that you can go listen to, and they will give you the specific astrology you need, right? But like Brett said, I feel like this is different. It's going to be about literally what are the energetic movements and the energetic wave that will
Right.
be brought in.
Right. So what is the energy of was a black cat crossing?
I
What is
know
the
that's okay.
energy?
That's good.
I know. What is the energy collectively, right?
Yeah,
Because we're talking about Aquarius here, so the collective, right?
yeah,
So what is the collective energy? And I'm smiling, so I think that's a good sign.
yeah.
What is the collective energy of all of us and what Pluto and Aquarius is going to mean for us and the world?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. They're already talking. I'm hearing change. You know,
Change. You know what? That's so fun. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
no. So I was gonna say that sometimes you gotta fuck shit up to get shit done, right? And I feel like the golden age, which is 100% what we're walking into. For me, I tap into that divine feminine energy, and it's like segments. Like that's what I'm getting, just like that change. I'm coming through with change.
Yeah.
It's like you are home being bad as hell, and your mama walks through the door. You're like change. It's like mama's walking through the door, like, "Yep, I'm here." Change.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because while we've been planning this reading I don't know if you guys know, it goes on in the back end of YouTube and all the planning and all that that goes on into it. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having Pluto and Aquarius on my mind so much the past, I don't know, week that we've been thinking about this or however long.
Mm-hmm.
I kept hearing "A Change Is Gonna Come" by, is it Sam Cooke?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh,
it's sung by
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's sung by many different singers,
yeah.
but
Long, long time coming. The
yes.
change gonna yes, that's what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that song, and I'm like Cola, where the songs, they come to me as well. She's a Gemini, I'm a Gemini moon, so we have that kind of like synchronicity where
Mm-hmm.
like we'll just be communicating through song lyrics sometimes. So we'll try to like,
Mm-hmm.
let you in on it, but it's
Yes.
just that's one of the ways that we communicate is we just,
Yeah.
our spirit communicates with us as we get a
Yeah.
song.
And
It's like I'm hearing a song.
I love singing as a kid. I love singing as a kid. And one day I said, Spirit, just give me the voice so that I can just, you know, like for me, it really was for me because I love hearing myself sing.
Mhm.
And then one day, like as I started reading and a song came in and I just started belting it out. I recognized, I go, oh, I found my tone. I found my pitch. Spirit gave me my voice. Thank you. Thank you.
Right,
Like
exactly.
now listen, I'm no professional, but I can carry a tone.
Right, exactly.
I can hold a tune.
Yeah.
I can harmonize. I'll be in the back like, mm,
I'm
shoot.
really good at harmony. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. All right. So you want
Alright.
to ask specific questions and we pull, or how do you want to do it?
I think that I think that we just ask spirit like what we should impart, or what kind of things that
Mm-hmm.
we should prep people for, or anything that they would like us
Okay.
to share,
Okay.
or um
All
what
right.
else am I thinking
What's
of?
your guidance? So, Spirit,
Yeah, guidance.
what is your guidance for navigating Pluto and Aquarius?
Right. And I did want to mention a couple things really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a sign that doesn't change or doesn't make a full revolution except for every 248 years, as we mentioned
Mm-hmm.
before, right? So I went back in time and I looked, and 1532, because this is important to the topic of what we're going to be talking about. We're not going to go into the full astrology of it, but I did want to look back at last time, the last,
Mm-hmm.
however many decades ago that Pluto was in Aquarius. So we've got 1532. There was a uprising with the Protestants versus the Roman Catholic Church,
Mm-hmm.
right? That happened during Pluto and Aquarius. In 17, excuse me, 78, we have the Age of Revolution, is what it's referred to, where there was major political and social construct revolution going on in all parts of the world, including especially in America. So, not that that's not already happening, but I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like expect more of that.
Yes.
And one thing I found really interesting, and this is kind of timely as well, is in 1796, the smallpox vaccine was invented to cure smallpox, which had been running rampant. And do you know that the smallpox vaccine is the world's first vaccine ever made?
Hmm.
And that happened in Pluto and Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
So just to give you an idea of, sorry if I keep hitting my mic, by the way, but just to
No, you're
give you
good.
okay, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Um, some big things
Mhm.
are going to go down, and I think a change is going to come. Change is I think the key word.
Mhm. So I think we were talking about when we cut real quick, smallpox, the smallpox vaccine, right?
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
invented 1796, and you said it was the world's first vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And was that, did you have any more? Because I think you had a couple, right?
Yeah, so I just wrote down those 3, but there's if you wanna go back, if you wanna do any history yourself, just search
Mm-hmm.
any of the years that Pluto was in Aquarius and look at significant things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that all the time I did it, for when Pluto was in Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to see the past and the way history, I guess, repeats itself, but also it shows the progressions that we've made because
Yeah.
we're on, I don't know what vaccine. And of course, we've just recently created a whole new one. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's not, oh, spirits. You know, I like when you give it to me one at a time. Mm. Mhm. All right, so all right, I'm gonna pull first from the Pleiadian Oracle deck and the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck.
okay.
Because let's see, what is the guidance? What is the guidance from spirit? So what it said. So what it said. I'm a firm believer you gotta pop and drop. I do. It's like anytime I get a deck that is difficult for me to use, I'll let it rest and sit. And then like when it calls to me, when it's ready to be used, that's when I use it. And the rules, my decks know pop and drop. If you don't pop and drop, I'm not taking it.
Yeah, same. If I shuffle like that, yeah.
Yeah. So
All right.
it's fine.
You guys get ready to get your mind blown.
So the what first one I have is the Time Master, right? Spirit says, what's the guidance? The infinite, right? The infinite soul, the infinite presence, the infinite, like time is changing. And Pluto is the master of time.
Mhm.
We can measure significant growth, Spirit is showing me, in Pluto moving through the planets, right? This is a completion of an entire cycle. And it's now the beginning of a new cycle, right? So Pluto is a time master. Look at the numerology of it. 57. 57. Okay, hey Spirit, I see you. 57 breaks down to 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 12 breaks down to 3. 3 talks about, right? 3 are pentacles, 3 are coins, sorry, the 3 of wands, choice, choosing a path. It's also the Trinity.
Mhm.
So for me, it's the Trinity and it's spirit showing up. Like there are times in life when we can recognize when spirit walks in the room and when Pluto moves. That's one of those times. So he's a master of time, he's a controller of time. So we're going to have to do what Pluto is telling us to do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We can't want to keep being Capricorns because Pluto is saying, yeah, that's good. You're Aquarians now. Everything you live, everything you do, everything you breathe, it's all going to be Aquarius now. Aquarius rules the day. right?
Yep.
And then from the Pleiadians, they're saying we're stepping into, and this is number one, the enlightened guts, right? We are stepping into enlightenment, the gut of it. There's no is this what's happening? It's like that gut clench that you know this is what's happening. The enlightenment piece of it for me is you can't unsee. Once you know, you can't unknow. Your eyes cannot unsee. Your ears cannot unhear, right? So it's literally this time master, this movement of time, it's echoing throughout the galaxy, it's echoing throughout the realms because it's a significant, it's like they're showing me when the clock strikes 12. In most countries, I don't know, it doesn't happen so often here where I live in America, but I'm from Jamaica. We have this thing we call Achi, and we know what it is. It's just at noon, it strikes, and that's the lunch hour. And that's something that was old, something that was created back during like colonial times, right? When we still had that influence and certain things still remain. But they're bringing me to that because things will come back. So what you said, the enlightened gut. Let's go back to smallpox vaccine being invented, right? The world's first vaccine. And now the world has millions of vaccines, hundreds of vaccines, thousands of vaccines.
Yeah.
We're about to see major change in medicine. Big time change in medicine. And I'm hearing spirit say for the good. For the good. Right? The next one I have is Sweat Lodge. And it's 54 and it breaks down to 9. And 9 is the completion of a thing, the mastery of a thing, the ending of a thing. Because when we get to 10, that breaks down to 1, you're starting over again. So this right here is the end. It's the end of the old self. And when we go into the sweat lodge, right? And you can even talk more about the sweat lodge, right? From your cultural standpoint. When you go into that sweat lodge, when you go into the medicine lodge, it is to heal. It is to release, it is to purify, it's to purge out that which no longer serves you. And look at what Spirit is showing us right here. This like image coming out. This shadow self can't go within with her. But notice that this person does still look like the shadow self walking into the light. We will never get rid of our shadows. Our shadow goes wherever we go. But what we can do is we can heal our shadows. We can learn from our shadows and we can use our shadows as our strength. Personally, I believe that. It's just me and my shadow.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, Pluto is all about your shadow. And it
Yeah,
really is. It's the underworld, right? It's the dark, it's the dank, it's the
yeah,
that. So when you
yeah,
mention the shadow, it's literally it's Pluto
yeah,
is our shadow work that you
yeah,
hear about so often.
yeah. And so now let's talk about that. It's our shadow work. So we got some Aquarian shadow work to do,
Yes.
right? Sacred union. One of the things I believe you'll be seeing a change in is energy and the connection between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Because I've been getting that the divine feminine, so they're saying, we're not here to play. We're not here to play. The divine feminine force is a force to be dealt with. And I think that in the age of Aquarius, the divine masculine had to shine, divine masculine had to rise. But now the Aquarius is the age of Aquarius is bringing in the union of that divine masculine and feminine, right? 15 breaks down to 6.
Mhm.
In tarot talks about that even give and take, victory, right? So so that relationship, that dynamic, we're going to be seeing, right? Because remember, the question is, what is the guidance? The divine sacred unions between the divine masculine and feminine selves will be worked on, will be healed, right? And if we take them together, it's being worked and it's being healed, because collectively, all of us are going through and walking in and stepping into the sweat lodge. All of us will be. Right? You may not be someone with, actually, let me stop that. All of us will be. And this is what I was going to say. I was going to say that you don't have to be someone who's psychically or intuitively inclined, but spirit is saying, no, no, no. You are going into the enlightened guts. And that enlightening piece is that divine feminine coming through and saying, you're all intuitive beings.
Yes.
Just listen, right? We're all enlightened beings, just listen. We're all psychic beings, just listen. Sometimes people ignore things, or sometimes people are so hurt that they're so closed off that no work has been done, right? They're not going in within shadow, they're not going in the sweat lodge, you're not doing that piece. So the guidance, Pluto is going into Aquarius to heal. It's going into Aquarius to heal, right? Talk about medicine, talk about the relationship between men and women, women and men, them and they, like whatever your preferences are. It's the divine union between those two dynamic forces, because no matter what, there's always a divine masculine and a divine presence and energy in a relationship, even within yourself. So also take this as within the self. The sacred union of the divine masculine and feminine will be balanced in everyone. And that's because we're going into the sweat lodge and doing that work, right? We talked about children, didn't we? You said children being born this time will always be in the age of Pluto and Aquarius. And guess what? 7. 7 is the number of the divine. 7 is lessons. What do children do? Children learn lessons. So guess what? We are all now going back into that childlike state of mind, learning things, learning how to be decent human beings. Yeah. Because it's, in Jamaica, we say, train up a child in the way they should grow and they will never depart from it. Right? Lessons, teach your children lessons on how to be better people. But your children are coming through and they will teach you how to be better people. Because these Age of Aquarian babies are coming through born with a certain thing about them that you can't, and we won't be able to just change. Right? They are coming through teaching us lessons. The divine feminine is strongly in here. Look at the moon, the different moon phases. A lot of these children are going to be born so freaking psychic, intuitive, like this DNA that's coming through in these kids. They're showing me a card I have. Oh, it's in this deck. It didn't come out, and I'll try to find it. But it's basically a crown, a diamond tiara with diamond DNA strands weaving through it.
Ooh.
There's a change in, I gotta find it, spirit. They're like,
Notice
no,
that word keeps coming up, change.
change. Yes, this one, right? These children that are coming
Star
through,
royalty.
they're star royalty. Earth is being seeded by star seeds. Earth is being seeded by a different group, a fresh wave of star seeds. Yeah. So the aliens people think are coming, they're coming. They may not come through how you think they're going to come through. And like both ways, yeah, but we're being seeded. And the thing is, I think people think being seeded means some beings or something comes in and they're manipulating DNA, right? Like, yes, that has happened in the past. But I feel like look at the cycle, right? How many 280 something year cycles has Pluto gone through in the Earth's,
Oh gosh.
the Earth was created, right? it's infinite. Think about it, you blow your mind. You're like, I can't come back that far. 1 trillion. No, we're not even there. But what I'm getting is this now, we have these star-seeded souls that are saying, yes, I'm coming down, because Earth, Sophia, Gaia, she too is a being. Our planet is a being. Like, I love her. Like, this is mother, right? And she's giving birth, and it's oh so what she just said was it's like, okay, I'm done with that partner. Oh, different babies now. So, like the star seeds that are coming down are different from the star seeds that came before. Like every one of us has a purpose, right? But these Aquarian ones have a specific purpose. They're coming with love, but they're not weak, right?
Mhm.
Um, 35, forgiveness, right? And 35 turns into 8. 8 is the infinite, right? And we're in the 8th year. So how apropos is it that Aquarius, Pluto moved into Aquarius in the 8th year, a 8 personal galactic year, right? For Sophia Gaia, for our planet, right? Forgiveness, right? We will be healing, right? There, I feel like bridges will be mended. We talked about going back into the Protestant uprising, the age of revolution. I feel like it's going to be different this time. It's going to be healing. Because remember, it already broke it down back there then. And now it's coming through to continue the work. And so now it's like, we are all different, whole and unique. Once you see, you can't unsee. So you can't change someone because you feel like this is how it should be. So for me, right, we're going to see a change again in the dynamics of how spirituality is shown, how it is practiced. Because church is just a practice of spirituality, right? Your religion is just a practice of your spirituality. And sometimes they let spirituality dictate everything. You can live your life as a Christian and still break bread and have an understanding with someone that is something else,
Right.
right? And understand that because I am that something else, or you're that something else, I'm not better than you. I'm not different than you. I'm not going to hell and you're going to wherever, right? It's just that understanding of we have the vibration of the one true source differently within us. And this is how I express it, right?
Mhm.
Because the whale song, baby, it's beautiful, right? But each whale has a different sound. Each wave has a unique echolocation, right? They can prove that. So they know who it is. Now imagine being so comfortable in that differentness that I don't care. I don't need to fight you. You don't need to be like me. You don't have to have the same principles and beliefs and morals like me, right? Like
Can
Jesus' one message is love.
yeah, can you see I'm welling up a little bit? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, spirit is just like touching me so much. It's like,
So
wow.
it's the one thing I would say guidance wise is forgive, forget, move on, move forward. But we don't have to put ourselves in situations that continue to compromise us.
No.
But people no longer get to live rent free on our hearts and on our minds. I love people, but I release them to the world. I release them to time. I release them to spirit. I release you to go do what you want to do elsewhere. Just can't do that shit over here.
Right.
Because somebody else may be down with it, and I'm okay with that. Right?
Right.
The next one we have is 46, the serpent. And this is the perfect example of what we talked about. And also I'm hearing Quetzalcoatl too. Like he's just like made himself known, which is so
Mhm.
weird. When I went on my trip to Mexico and I came back, oh, the energy, he stayed with me. And
Mhm.
I love the energy Quetzalcoatl brings. he's fierce and gentle, and I don't, that's the best way for me to explain that. Like if I were to ever come across him in the forest, I wouldn't be afraid of him.
Mhm.
I would know exactly who he is the minute I would see him, and I would know that there's trust here. It's
Yeah.
so 46 breaks down to 10, breaks down to 1. And look at the serpent. It's both ends, right? Both ends have a tail,
Mhm.
right? People think serpents are, they think back to what we're told about Adam and Eve. But serpents for me are healing, right? They're guides, they give warnings. A serpent can come to you and tell you, yo, you're about to have the time of your life, depending on the color, depending on what it's doing. Or a serpent can come to you and be like, you got snakes around you.
Mhm.
That's a warning. I say thank you for that, right?
Right.
Oh, they just said something. Okay. I just heard, because when I said that's a warning, they're like, yeah. What if the snake was warning Eve? What if she needed to eat that apple? What if she needed to, right? What if that was a warning? But who tells the story, right? The victors.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it becomes something else, right? So that's what I'm getting. There's a rap that snakes have. Um, but truly, when you do look at snakes, spiritually and metaphysically, they're healers. They bring in change because they shed their skin. They're very like aware of their locations and their surrounding. They're on guard.
In
So you're go ahead.
in some cultures, they're deities too.
Exactly, the Nagas. I kept getting Naga energy too. So with the serpent energy come through, I'm doubling down on medicine, improving how healthcare is done, improvement in treatments, improvement in how healthcare is practiced by practitioners. Um, I feel like this wave of children coming through, they are the ones that are going to bring this knowledge in. So we
Mhm.
may not see it for a while, right? Because by the
Yeah.
time they're old enough and in their 20s, right? We're now getting ready to go into what? Pisces.
50s. Oh, our age?
Yeah,
No,
we're going
yeah.
to, yeah,
Yeah, in 2043, we'll be going into Pisces.
yeah. Listen, baby, I'm telling you, you see how I'll be 50 looking like this. They like what happened? Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius happened. Age of Aquarius happened. But yeah, no, I'm getting that. Definitely increasing. And it doesn't even have to be just them. Like I feel like going into it, the technology is gonna be so improved. So I see. I'll double down on it again. Medical improvements. Medical improvements. I feel like COVID was like the Black Plague.
Yeah.
We won't really have something like that again until, but COVID ushered in the age of Aquarius. So maybe in 20 years we'll see something different, but we'd have to look back and say, okay, what happened the last time Pluto went into Pisces?
Right.
Because we don't have to repeat that, right? But if you're saying that the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, they had to invent the smallpox vaccine, that tells me smallpox came through, and I know it wiped people out,
Yes.
right?
Big
So
time.
maybe even COVID was a precursor to Pluto and Aquarius,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Mm.
And then the last one I have is fifth dimensional access. Number 17 breaks down to an 8. So spiritually, yeah, it's a change. Earth is
Mhm.
leveling up. She's moving into the fifth dimension.
The 5D.
And that's why, how apropos is it that we have 5G cellular technology, right?
Yeah.
Then people know shit. I'm gonna
Mhm.
need everybody to just now be off the understanding that people empower people like, you know, who create electronic cars and shit like that, or who do they know things. We cannot unsee and we cannot unknow. And we know they know things. We may not know what they know. But as long as you rocking with I know you know something, you're
Mhm.
safe. Right? But it again, those parrots for me tell me that this is a good thing. Right? 17 breaks down to 8. 8 again is showing up, right? The
Mhm.
infinite, the time master, the infinite, right? Karma, age of karma, the age of revelations. So, but
That's such an appropriate card, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about all the ways it applies, and it just applies in so many ways.
But that's it for now, for me.
Okay.
What say you?
Well, I mean, I wanted to go into what I've been hitting on in what's it called? Uh like
Mm-hmm.
internally
Yeah.
or whatever. And you hit on a lot of topics, technology being one of them, medicine being one of them. These are all things that Aquarius are going is a part of anyway. But um there are, I mean, the advancements that I have seen in medicine or that spirit has shown me in medicine. I mean, I'm talking cures for diabetes. I'm talking cures for
Mm-hmm.
multiple sclerosis. I'm talking cancer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much coming in
Yeah.
this period of time
Can I add
that,
it here?
yeah, go ahead.
When you're listing all the cures, I heard the cure for AIDS.
Yes, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. And they were already this close.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? It just, but I think this um transition is going to push them over the edge and
Mm-hmm. Come
finally
on.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Um as far as technology, I mean, I don't think we're talking about flying cars yet. And I don't know if we're ever going to be talking about flying cars. I think that was just the Jetsons way of,
Mm-hmm.
the way the future would, a cute way to show what the future would look like. But there is some extreme advancements in technology coming.
Mm-hmm.
I see things like there are going to be, unfortunately, computer chips that
Mm-hmm.
um some people will receive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're not all going to be bad. So that's something that I don't know too much about to speak on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get something about it, but that's something that I do see coming, and I don't see it as all being bad or as it being a control thing, as
Yeah.
much as a way to send messages of like your vitals to your doctor,
Mm-hmm.
um of ways of sending emotional triggers to your psychologist,
Yeah.
um things like this I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to get into that really quickly before I got into the cards.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of advancements. Advancements is the word I'm thinking of. Advancements coming down the pipe here. Um, as we move into this extraordinary transit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I know we're talking about Pluto, oops, but I'm going to pull a couple cards from a deck called Jupiter's Tongue.
Mm. I was hoping that's the one you're gonna pull from.
Yeah, just get some keywords. These are just some keywords, and cards are just flying out all over the place.
It had to, it was talking like when you were like this or this. I said, "Ooh, that one got a lot to say." I feel it.
Yeah, I don't even know how many cards to spell out. I might have to dip down for a second and look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the what you call this, where they have to pop out. What you call
Mm-hmm.
that?
I said the pop,
The pop. Yeah, they gotta
pop.
pop.
You gotta pop, pop
I'm
and
waiting for them.
pop.
Yep. Okay, we gotta wait for them to pop. Oh, you know what? It's either pop or they won't go back in for
Yes.
me. So this one won't go back in. So I've got Storm.
Okay.
Oops. And a bunch of other cards falling. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to pick this up. So Storm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? More than going into a storm, this is coming out of a storm, and I'm being told.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of it almost feels like the enlightened among us,
Mm-hmm.
the spiritually awakened,
Mm-hmm.
the woke.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, the word that, you know, is being used against us now, but I
But
feel
the more
like
they use it, the more we're like
yeah,
proving the point.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'd rather be awake, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um I feel like the storm is passing actually for the people for us, for the people who are watching this video, for me and you, for
Mm-hmm.
all of us who relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel as though a storm is coming for the people who don't.
Yeah.
Like the people who embrace the change and who embrace
Mm-hmm.
this new energy,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to receive it differently than the people who, let's just say, people who thrived under Pluto and Capricorn.
Yes. Yes.
If you get what I'm saying.
I do. I do.
So, as I was saying, with the I had it like this, the Astral Odyssey, I got the advancements in astral travel,
Mm-hmm.
and I also got this astral card. I'm still having trouble. The astral card. Um, I think astral travel is gonna be uh not all the. I heard all the rage, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that in like a trendy kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that people are going to learn to connect with their astral body
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even go for an odyssey and
Yeah.
maybe learn to understand that we are star beings, that we are finally maybe okay, I'm hearing understand that we are spirits having a human experience and not the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think for too long, um,
We've been stuck in this body.
we've been stuck in the body and we've been thinking that this is the final form,
Yes.
right? Everything teaches us that. Church teaches us that,
Mm-hmm.
and um, even if you don't go to church, you believe nothing happens after we're gone, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you're entitled to your own beliefs. I'm not trying to challenge your beliefs and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
just there is something beyond. And I think this Astral Odyssey,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me think of astral travel, I think it's going to become much more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are going to have a much stronger connection to their astral homes. I heard their astral homes, and
Yeah.
you would know more about that. She's the queen of which way am I pointing? She's the queen of
Yes.
the, she's the queen of uh the what is it called?
I would literally, I don't know why, do I call it anything? No, it's just
The cosmos,
the
basically.
cloud. Yeah,
The
it's weird to describe it, but it's just like you're saying. It's like it feels like you're for me, right? It just feels like it's just water. Like it's like I'm in a vast ocean and my astral body is as a big as like oh my god. It's as big as like a constellation of stars, and when you're there, it's different. It's different. It's
oh
it's
yeah,
it's different. So I could see that, once people are able to do it, it's like that's where it's like someone saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Shambhala,"
right. Or
and
meditation.
yeah, and that person. Once you see that person in a deep meditative state, they're not here.
No,
They're in their astral realm. They're in the astral realm. They're being guided by the luminaries, the luminous
the
bodies, and
luminaries. Right.
yeah, yeah,
That's exciting.
it is. It is.
I was taught astral travel by my grandmother when I was very young. I've taught all of this, but I'm sure I've talked to death about this subject, but I mean, she taught me all of this stuff. So I
It's
remember yeah,
never be afraid. Never be afraid. Sorry to cut you off, but I guess that's a problem. Some people say I have lesson learned.
I don't think it's a
No, it's
problem.
okay. Um, it's okay to talk about her, right? Because
Mhm.
she's literally one of your guides.
Yes.
We honor them in our lives. And remember, it's to hell with what anyone else thinks. Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
There's a cat coming to agree.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks just like her cat that she had.
Mm-hmm.
This one here.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
almost that's confirmation. My grandma's walking by to say,
yeah. She's like,
Mhm.
yeah. She's like, when y'all started this, I walked by the first time. So, yeah. So go ahead, baby. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Um, let's just see a couple more little keywords here. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to jump out. This one wants to put waxing, waxing poetic,
Mm-hmm. Waxing
waxing,
moon.
waxing moon.
Mm-hmm.
What what does a waxing moon look like? Is it the upper or the
Well, waxing
that?
means it's growing because waning means it's dying.
Okay, so waxing is when it's the first crescent, right?
Hold on. Yeah. Waxing moon. A waxing moon is any phase of the moon during the lunar cycle between the new moon to the full moon. So it's getting fuller. So it's waxing. The moon is getting fuller, and then it's like the full moon. And when it's waning, it's dying, and it's the new moon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is waxing?
Well, it's growth.
Grow? Growth? You think it's growth?
Mm-hmm. Because remember, it's getting
Waxing,
larger and
growth.
bigger, right? Because if we're taking, because I'm looking at from,
Oh, okay,
but
yeah,
right, we're
yeah.
expanding. It's going back into full, going back into whole, even, right? When I talked about, the masculine and the feminine coming back
That's it.
together.
Going to whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Growing into the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is not just an individual card. Again, this entire reading is collective
Mm-hmm.
and generational, just like Pluto is.
Mm-hmm.
So this I agree. This is what were the words again?
Growing
Whole?
into the whole, the
Growing
whole.
into the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So waxing, in other words, into the whole, into the full moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love this deck.
No,
Gives
I
you
do
so much.
too.
It gives you so much to think about.
Yeah, I love a deck that taps, and you know what? That's your Gemini moon.
Uh,
Because it's that intellectual, you're like, oh my God, so much. I can see it. And then
yeah.
this, and then did it, and that. And it's like the connections are everywhere. You know, we're Geminis. What can we say? We make aw.
I got the card of awe as you were saying that.
Aw. Spirit was like, right?
Yeah. So awe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Just being in awe of I think this will be the last card. I think this is all they really want me to have right now is just it's gonna be a state of awe, it's gonna be a state of inspiration, it's gonna be a state of things we have not seen before.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, leading up to this reading, I was so nervous, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the nervousness was excitement because
Mm-hmm.
there's an excitement about this placement. Sorry, I should keep this on the screen. There's an awe about this placement for me. I'm an Aquarius rising,
Mm-hmm.
so I understand the Aquarius energy. And it's all about it's ruled by Uranus. It's all about flipping things on its head.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Pluto coming in here as kind of like the big daddy, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna destruct and destroy and rebuild and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about death and rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got uh Aquarius on top of it. And Aquarius is all about, well, yeah, we're gonna rebuild it, but we're gonna rebuild it our way.
Yeah.
Uh, Aquarius is a collective sign. It
Mm-hmm.
rules the 11th house, friends,
Mm-hmm.
communities, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think this is going to be an awe-inspiring time, and I don't think that I don't think that we can even comprehend what we're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I want to
Exactly.
say. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, anyone curious? Just so you know, I will have the cards I use. And Cola, if she would like to share. I'll have the cards listed down below in the description if you want to
Mm-hmm.
have a check. I'm not sure if these are still sold. I hope so. But if they are, I will have them linked and I'll have them mentioned anyway if you want to look
Mm-hmm.
on eBay or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
So next I have the Sufi Wisdom Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I would just pull a few cards from and just see what the messages are.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are just some keywords to get me jogging, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, though. Oh, Spirit, look at you, waxing poetic. You said that, and I said, yes,
Yeah, waxing
yes.
poetic, right?
Listen, talk nice to me, okay? When we,
Yeah,
especially when we talking about the relationship between the divine masculine and feminine, sweetie, come talk nice to me.
waxing poetic. Yeah,
Waxing
exactly.
poetic, right? It's
Yeah.
like whispering all them sweet nothing, and you're like, mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want that change.
Yeah. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
turning old systems on their head because
Yeah,
Capricorn was about kind of like allowing things to be
yeah,
as they were. And now we're coming into an age where all those things that we allowed, we're not allowing that anymore. We're
yes.
transforming. Aquarius is transformative.
Yes. And you know what? It's a kind of transformative that changes you going forward. So no matter what age you go into, you keep those changes and you build on it. Build on it, build on it, build on it, build on it.
You're gonna think I'm a liar.
Transformation. Now I believe you. I believe you. Shoot.
Spirit said, this one like flipped out as I was shuffling.
Yeah, Spirit said, yeah, that part.
Transformation. Let love transform you forever.
I'm
Look at that.
telling you, yes.
What is
Yeah,
that, a pearl?
yep. Let love transform you forever. Yes, my friend.
Transformation. We were just talking about that. That is so I love the what is that word that I'm thinking of? It's not coincidence, it's
Synchronicities.
synchronicities,
Synchronicity. Yeah, synchronicity.
where I'm just shuffling this deck and this card just happens to flop over. And those are the cards that I take typically.
Mm-hmm.
And this one just flops out as we're talking about transformation. So, yes, this is all about transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think of any area of your life that needs transformation, if
Yeah.
you can think of any area in the world, anything in the world, it's going to receive transformation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
manifesting something big for Jamaica. Something big and beautiful.
Yeah. What do you see?
No, I can't say it. They said don't say nothing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things we have to keep to
Yeah.
ourselves because
Yeah. I love the island itself when I connect to her when I go home.
speaking of Ireland, this is like it reminds me of like a pearl or something in
It
there,
does.
doesn't it? It's like a
It does.
pearl inside of a
It looks like a pearl, but is that like a peacock eye?
I don't know. It's
But
like
I see
a
the pearl,
it's like
right?
it looks like a few things. It looks like a leaf, it looks like
Yeah.
a clamshell maybe,
Because we know how
a
the
peacock.
pearl grows. It's the calcium waste that the clam just like collects together.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that card. I'm all about transformation. Or even the peacock when it walks around, it looks all plain, but then it flips its tail up, and all of a sudden you're like, oh
Exactly.
wow.
Then you got all this going on.
Yeah,
All
the
these
growth, the growth,
growth.
growth, right? Age of Aquarius is like growth. Growth. We're gonna grow.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
could read I could read about it, but I don't think I need to read on transformation unless you want me
learn.
to. You don't
I
think
mean,
so?
no, because I mean, it said what it said.
It popped out while we were talking about it. So I
Yeah,
think it was just confirmation for what
yeah,
we were talking about. Spirit
yeah,
will do that sometimes. If you're not familiar, Spirit will absolutely confirm for you what you're talking about. And it's very tickling for that to happen. Like I don't know, I'm sure you saw my face as soon as it happened, but
yeah.
I was so tickled. I was like, shut up.
It's like yes, I
I'm
do.
getting
'Cause I love us when we co-create with spirit, right?
yeah,
Love it.
what's this? Finding the path, you are the driver and the navigator.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is talking about
Mm-hmm.
um well no, this one's kind of like finding yourself.
Mm-hmm. Finding your path.
Is
You are the driver
finding your
and the
path.
navigator, right?
Yeah, and this can go back to the astral travel because meditating, any kind of like work that you do like that,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna find the path so easy.
The
Um
path. Oh yeah.
I don't want to say easy, but it still takes work. But the path is being made much more clear with
Mm-hmm.
with this transit with Jupiter and Aquarius. And I'm now thinking about I'm wondering what celebrities back in the day, I don't know what day it would have been who had Jupiter and Aquarius or famous people of the time because or known or celebrated people of the time. Um I would have to look back because I mean, like 1700s is like the last time I was in Aquarius, so it's not like it was movie stars.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have looked that up. and seeing like who was born with Pluto and Aquarius in their chart. And I wonder what
Is-
I, huh?
As far as celebrities?
I don't think there were celebrities back then. It was I'm assuming it was more like astronomers and philosophers and
Okay, all right.
presidents,
So
maybe
like the influential people.
influential people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because I wonder what what their finding their path was like when they had it in their natal chart, or even back when it was a transit for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I looked back for the smallpox vaccine and stuff like that. I didn't even think to look back at other people.
So the smallpox vaccine, what president was that?
Well, it was in. Ugh, let me just read the year real quick. 1796. So that would have been president. Uh, that's too long ago for me to remember.
Oh, wait, hold on. That was a crucial time in America.
Yeah,
It was the third quadrennial presidential election, 1796, right?
yeah.
It was the first contested American presidential election.
See,
The first presidential election in which political parties played a dominant role, and the only presidential election in which a president and vice president were elected from opposing tickets.
wow. Now that's Aquarian.
So
Aquarians do
John
things.
Adams defeated Thomas Jefferson. So I think John Adams became president.
Yeah,
And then Thomas Jefferson was elected vice president.
and then was Jefferson president after that? Because Jefferson signed the Declaration of Independence, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that still would have been Pluto and Aquarius, I believe.
Yeah, because that's when so Washington was like, yeah, I ain't running again.
Wow.
Washington was like, I did my bid. who who on it?
Right.
Who next? Duck goose? Sorry. this is I
Well,
just
I mean, talk about finding your path. I mean, like,
mm-hmm.
and
America is finding its path.
America was finding its path, and is
Mhm.
including going back to when was it? 1778, which was around the smallpox vaccine, is a few years, 20 years or so before it. Is the Age of Revolution, where there was a political and social construct revolution,
Mhm.
where political ideologies and stuff are being challenged, and it sounds like they were still being um figured out at that point in time, as Pluto went to Aquarius for the, unless it was still in Aquarius for the vaccine. It was still in Aquarius for the vaccine.
Mhm.
So it's still played out in that role.
It did. All right,
Yeah.
finding a path.
Life I just heard life always finds a way from Jurassic Park.
Yes, life. Yes, yes,
Life
yes. Right.
always finds a
So
way.
truly, if another asteroid comes and go boom boom, there's a life form on this planet that will find a way.
Yes, exactly.
Earth is a sentinel being. It is a being. The one thing I want people to truly get is that Gaia is a being. We are living we are living on a galactic, a celestial being.
Right, exactly. And a friend of mine and I were talking about this, but imagine, or what I could, it could have been you, I can't remember. Imagine being Pluto. Was it you I was talking about?
Yeah.
Plu Pluto, you're the Plutonians, right? Who live on
Mhm.
Pluto. that we don't know about, right?
Mhm.
Allegedly. And they have Earth placements, like an Earth rising or an Earth
Mhm.
sun, or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And imagine like different solar, like different or not solar systems, but different planets having
Mhm.
life forms that have Earth as a placement, because
The
we don't
place.
have Earth as a placement. Yeah, the
No.
closest thing we come to Earth as a placement is our rising sign, just
Mhm.
because it's what's on the horizon
What's on the horizon?
as we're born. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the closest thing we have to an Earth sign. But
Mhm.
people on Mars, for example, they don't have a Mars sign, just like we don't have an Earth sign. But they
Mhm.
have an Earth sign. Like it's
Mhm.
just it's
Yeah.
funny to think
Because
about.
we were saying, what does an Earth retrograde on Mars or on Mercury
Yeah.
feel like, right? And
And we
people
felt
like, go ahead,
I was gonna say we felt sorry for them.
right? And then what constellation are we moving through? Because like you know what I'm saying? It's like so
Mhm.
with that understanding, you cannot unknow once you know.
What if it's the Big Dipper? What if that's our constellation?
That's what I'm saying. You don't know. So you don't know the impact of our energetic body as a civilization, as a planet, as a galactic community has elsewhere. Shit, for all we know, we're being seeded by fucking Uranians.
Absolutely.
Souls from Uranus that are like, I want to now have a Earth experience.
Yeah.
Because remember, these planets, they're
I think
siblings. They're dancing
yeah,
around the sun. They're siblings. They're created at the same time. What makes that? How many planets? Nine? Your nuntuplets or some shit like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, that we know of anyway.
because apparently there's a bigger, badder brother somewhere, Nibiru, floating,
Yeah,
and
I
he coming
know.
close, and that's too is being heralded in. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, we're gonna be like, "What the hell's that shadow?" Oh,
Pluto and Aquarius gonna be like, "Hi."
like Nibiru's here. We're like, that's why we don't fuck with him. He can go. One more tsunami, and the whole continent's gone. Chill out, Nibiru. Like, yeah. Oh Lord, that's another thing too. I've been channeling about this change we're going into. Water, water walks. Water knows where it walks, and we're gonna see a lot of water, a lot of big water, because also right, Aquarius is the water bearer.
Right, right, exactly.
Right, so we're gonna see a lot of water.
Yeah,
That means a lot of seismic movements, and that means a lot of like sun, like solar movements. Like the sun's
yeah.
going through something. The Earth, the tecton. It's so when I say Sophia Gaia is growing, it's like a kid getting a growth spurt,
Right.
and that growth spurt can be painful.
Yes. And we should take that as a warning as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because
What do say?
when we're when we're talking about water, don't forget about polar ice caps. Okay, they are still melting,
Mm-hmm.
and all the prophecies, not even prophecies, but all of the scientific proof that some lands are going to be underwater, we need to be diligent
Yes.
about protecting ourselves, about protecting our families,
Yeah.
and most importantly, trying to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But you know
uh,
what?
mhm,
We can't.
it's a little late, but yeah,
It's not even late. It's so it's like this. It's putting a bandage over a gunshot wound. That's
I have a.
graphic. But go ahead.
I was gonna say I just have a card that goes so well with this.
Go ahead.
Ending a trauma,
Yes.
and it says transform memories and symptoms.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Right.
And
Ending of
so, yeah, so I think not only is there a lot of soul work and a lot of soul healing going on, I
Mm-hmm.
think there's also going to be some earth healing.
Mm-hmm.
The earth needs to heal, the earth needs to cleanse, the earth is crying. I just heard.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is crying. You know what I mean? When we talk about the water on the earth, it's like the tears of the earth because she's been, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Spirit, for the confirmation.
Confirmation, yeah.
She's been so neglected and, hurt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she is a sentient, not, I mean, yeah, she's a goddess, Gaia and everything,
The
but like
Sufi.
her planet is sentient, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the living beings on it are sentient. So
Yeah.
we have ending a trauma. So we're gonna be working through traumas with Pluto and Aquarius.
Yes.
And I'm even hearing uh medical advances in trauma PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
SA survivors,
Mm-hmm.
and of course people in the military, anything like that. Um, I do see huge advances, especially when I'm talking about mental advances and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm seeing especially like a big focus on PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, because trauma is the root of so many problems in our world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to pull one more or no? They said yes, pull one more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna pull one more. Cole's got her cards out. Let's see. What one more message, Spirit? One more message for the collective about Pluto and Aquarius, a once in a lifetime experience. One more. Pluto and Aquarius, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Hmm. Drunk with love.
Mm-hmm.
Let love lift you to freedom. Oops, oops.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. It aligns with my cards. Yeah.
Yeah,
That just pulled. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm hearing not just love with relationships, but also love of friendship, love of family. There's so many different ways you can love. You can love your pets, you
Mm-hmm.
can love yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
can love you can love your country, you can love your
Mm-hmm.
spirit, you can love your guides. I mean, like your heart chakra.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's gonna be like almost like a new hippie movement, and Aquarius is kind of like the hippie of the zodiac.
Yeah.
So
When I tell you your card is hitting my cards. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, look at the flowers.
Yeah.
That, like that's like I
Yeah.
don't know if you can tell, but it's like these branches up here. It's like it like reminds me of like cherry blossoms.
I was
You know
thinking
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or soft pink flowers. Yeah.
yeah.
The cherry blossoms, though, right? That's really
Let love lift you to freedom. I mean,
yes.
like, you know what I mean? That's so beautiful. And I think that's
Yeah.
the perfect card to end on. Let love lift you to freedom.
Yes. So I pulled from the Moonology deck, right? Look at the bigger picture, the full moon in Sagittarius, right? It's time for us to look at the bigger picture, right? And when we're looking at the bigger picture, Spirit wants us to bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius.
Mm.
Bring love into the situation. That's why I said, no, your card, when you're like the final one to go out of my cards, were like, yes. Because in all of this change, in all the advancement, in everything, it's love. It's working with love, being in a spirit of love, being the spirit of love, right? Like I said, I don't hate you. I love you. As a human being, we're kin.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily appreciate shit people do, especially if it's not aligned to what I'm manifesting. So I
Right.
release you with love. I release you with a loving heart so you can go succeed and grow and thrive and build elsewhere with love, right? And we can do that. And it's like you could do that without hating someone, right? Because it's just a matter of in this big wide world filled with billions of people, why be forced to be what be kind? Yes. So I be forced to be, yes. I was literally saying my dad the other day, I go, you know what? I don't want nice. Nice will lie to your face.
Yeah.
Let's just be nice. I didn't know what to say. Be kind. We're not
Kind.
walking out the house with you looking like that. Be kind, girl, boy, bye. You knew you shouldn't have taken that money. Be kind. How else are people going to grow if you're not kind and truthful?
Right.
Right? Be kind. How else are people going to learn and recognize that there is something wrong? And you can kindly say it. Be kind is love, right? And we got to bring that into every situation. Imagine if the world leaders were kind people and they'd look at each other like, yo, you shouldn't have run up in Palestine like that. Like Hamas is a group of people, not a fucking country. Oh, but Hamas is a group, not a country. And you know what I'm saying? Like I haven't spoken on this, but Spirit was like, right now, this is an appropriate moment to talk on that.
Yes.
Be kind, leaders. Be truthful, be honest, because guess what? We're adults, we'll take it. Right? But the next card I have from my Mystic Martian, I have the Andromedans, the anatomy, free will, manifestation. And don't this look like a hippie ass chick to you?
Yes.
And that's why when you said hippie, Aquarius is the hippie, I was like, yep. So we may see some Andromedan effects, right? We may hear them talk about the Andromeda galaxy more, right? But where change is coming, Bret, free will manifestation, people are gonna be able to tap into that side of them more and be like, damn, I had it in me this whole time. The next one I have is the Vesica Pisces. Yes, right? Your path. People, I could have been building my own roads instead of driving over these rickety ass all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then so Vesica Pisces, divine feminine, birthing fertility. The divine feminine is coming back. Period. And look at even look at this, right? The 8, the infinite.
Yep.
The Vesica Pisces, where fertility lies, right? It's the it's the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Fertility, creativity.
I see a snake eye there in the middle, and it takes
Yeah,
me back to your serpent card earlier.
yeah, right. But let's double down on that because Ouroboros is here too. The
Oh,
Ouroboros, infinity, eternal past life, right?
another
Eternal and
snake.
past life. Yeah. So the Ouroboros in Egyptian spiritual practices, right? And it talks about the constantness of life, right? It's like where there's ending, there's beginnings, where there's ending, there's beginnings, right? And we all live in that constant of life. It's infinite, right? The things talk going back to what you were saying back in when Pluto was last in Aquarius. We're going to be seeing those cycles again, but we've learned. So now as Ouroboros turns, as the wheel turns, and we're coming back upon those lessons, it's being improved upon. Ouroboros feeds itself with knowledge consistently all the time.
Right.
And that's why it's infinite. And that's why people are going to see shit like past life gifts, right? Like I said, like I don't know nothing about, like I was telling you earlier offline, like people, a lot, like people think I have such a vast knowledge of astrology and astronomy. And in a past life, I do believe I mastered that gift.
Mhm.
And so when I hear about it now in this life, it's like, yeah, instant. It's an instant. It's instant. And people are going to start experiencing that. And it's going to freak a lot of y'all out because y'all would look at you, right? The person you're becoming in the Capricorn era and be like, yo, you're crazy, you're bugging, you're tripping. When you're like, no, I can actually do this and I'm doing this. So that's why when you say more people like astral travel, actual projection going into the astral realm, being with the luminous bodies, people are going to come back and they're going to start talking and people are like, yo, are you losing your mind? And it's like, ground yourself.
Mhm. I just heard the new drug.
Oh, it's a new drug.
Yeah. No, well, no, like it's a new high or
It's the new
something.
high going into the,
Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, it's a trip,
it is.
right? It is a trip, especially when you remember what that astral journey is, right?
Mhm.
So it's a trip. There are times I don't remember, but I will wake up with bruises, with with pains and aches. I'm like, what was I doing? Who was I kicking? I'm like, my foot, my big toe, right? Little
Uh,
things like that. And then there are times I literally one time woke up right as I was shoulder checking and breaking a door in. I was a 6 something muscular dude. It looked like I was a cop. And I had to get in. And I remember seeing myself bang on the door. And then I leaned back and I checked it with my shoulder and I woke up as my shoulder connected with the door
mhm.
in pain,
Yeah.
pain. And I was like, oh my God. So brace yourself. It's not all this a mental head rush. Because
No, yeah.
remember, the astral body, the actual body, like my thing is this. Why can't you see the back of you? Because you are the driver and your windows, your windshield are your eyes,
Right.
right? So you're seeing what's in front of you. When you close your eyes, what does that driver do? Where does that driver go? And when you can start remembering what you do and where you go, it's like, what's that 90s thing? It's like, where does so and so go and so goes away? Oh my God. Like I didn't have it in Jamaica, but it's like there's always that one scene or that one little thing that would be that would ask when I would hear it. I'm like, yeah, where do we go when we go to sleep?
Or like that new, or it's not new, but a newer reference would be the Billie Eilish album. Where do we, when we all fall asleep, where do we go?
Where do we go? Yes. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So astral traveling. Make sure, guys, you're going back into your bodies.
Yes. This is really important, actually. Anyone who wants to try astral traveling never has before. Keep an eye on that chain and keep an, and when it's time for you to go back, you go
Mhm.
back, because I had one experience that was so bad. I thought I died
Yeah.
because I was late to coming back to my body.
Mhm.
And so I guess the way to describe it is in the physical realm where I wasn't. I was off
Mhm.
doing my own thing. I can't remember what I was doing at the time.
Mhm.
But my physical body was about to wake up, and I could feel my soul vacuuming,
Mhm.
right? Back to my cord and back to my body,
Mhm.
because I was about to wake up and not be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I made it just in time to where it sounded like a gunshot. It went boom, and it was so loud that it scared me awake to the point where so awake to the point where I actually thought I was dead.
Mm.
Because it was so jarring. So you
Yeah,
do have to be careful and you do have
yeah,
to practice, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I,
don't just ask someone if
mhm,
they have experience with it. It'd be
yeah,
best to do it, with
yeah.
and pray beforehand, pray for guidance
Listen,
and
always praying and always have something that tethers you too. You know,
yes.
it's so crazy because I don't ever remember cognizantly being aware that I had to tether myself. I've been doing this since I was like a little kid. And I remember there'd be times I'd be in bed and I'm like, you have to come back now. I'm
Yeah.
ready to wake up. And like I would yank, like, come back.
Yeah.
Then I'd come back and I'd be tired. I'm like, oh, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like, you were out all night partying. Like, I just sometimes I feel like I just pulled you up out the club. Like, so that was like growing up. Like, I always remember and still do. I'm very cognizant that like when I'm out and it's time to wake up, like my body is like it's like like this is the spaceship, and the computers go on. I was like, Captain, you need to return, starting initiating return sequence. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing, where you're at, who you're with. I'm waking up, you're coming back.
Yep.
And I've kind of established those protocols. So those are things you can practice, you can like, and sometimes too how that happens is certain alarms. Like I'll set certain alarms that are early, and people are like, you
Mhm.
wake up that early? I go, no, I don't, but I know what that alarm's for. That alarm's to be like, bitch, come home, because your real alarm's about to go off in half an hour.
Set a spiritual alarm first.
Yes, 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 you have to. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
have to. Even spiritual like alarms, like I feel like people are going to be walking into gifts where they don't recognize, like, I know I can smell evil. Yeah. Okay, this is
Yeah.
the third time that's happened to me. The first time I said, okay, that's what evil smells like. Spirit's like, yup, now you know. It was years after, and then I felt it twice in like the same week, and it was the same scent, and I was like, is it following me? And the second time I smelt it, I was on my way to a friend's party and I met a high priestess. And I was in the hospital. Oh, that's see. Ah shit. Sorry, download. Um, and the first time I smelt it that week, I had to go get blood drawn and I had to go to the hospital. I wasn't going to the hospital. I was just going to go to a blood drawing facility. And she was like, oh, the type of work they need, you got to go to the hospital. I said, okay. The minute I walked in, I was like, oh, I said, oh. And like it was gaggy, like how potent it was for me. Put on a mask. I was in there like, all right, Spirit, come on, I gotta go, gotta go. Like, get me out of here. Got out, walked outside, took deep cleansing breaths, came home. End of the week, going to my friend's party, stopped at a store to get coffee and something to munch on. And the minute I walked in, I smelled the same smell and it stopped me in my tracks. And immediately my spiritual alarms were going around, and I scanned quickly. And then like my radar, when it hit the person in front of me, because I kept the scan going, it like the aura lit up just red.
Mm.
And I leaned back, and it's like that my protection went up, and I walked around the person. And I think spirit is like saying all of this and sharing all of this with people is because it's like that's what is gonna start emerging. people are gonna start their gifts are gonna start manifesting. People who are like, oh, I don't have that, I'm not like that. Like, I'm even getting people who love to hunt will know when to go quiet and when to fire their bow and arrow, because they can sense exactly where the animal,
Yes.
because they can energetically see that animal coming.
Yeah. There's a
You
lot of there's a lot of third eye development. There's a lot of chakra cleansing going on that I'm
know,
sensing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, chakras. Look at the colors there.
yeah.
Third
And
eye.
the eye in this one too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And she has a third eye. The Andromedans, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You said it, third eye. A lot
yeah,
of mass third eye awakening.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this is gonna be fascinating time. Don't I don't want you to get too excited and think that it's gonna be happy go lucky and everything's gonna be perfectly fine. There's gonna be it's this is Pluto we're talking about, death and transformation, okay? Death and rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be some rough patches.
Oh, very much so.
But yeah, but keep in mind that the end result is going to be something that we need in this world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius is all about community. It's all about bringing us all back together. And
Yeah,
think about how divided we've been since
yeah,
Pluto and Capricorn. Bring
yes,
us back together, open our mind, and show us new things. And
yeah,
Aquarius is about new things. It's about community, it's about technology and science and all of that. So,
yeah, yeah. And you know what, Brett? I feel like sometimes I'm like super like, oh my, and I'm excited. And I love that you said that, because it's true. And for me, it's the knowing what comes up, what comes
right,
after, why it's being done, that gets my spirit. So like, this is for the greatest good, right? This is, we get, it's like the tower. We're in the tower.
right. Yeah,
The
exactly.
tower must fall and the tower will fall. But when a tower falls, guess what? We get to rebuild it brick by brick by brick, how we want it. And that
Exactly.
is what Pluto in Aquarius is doing. It is bringing a
That's
spiritual
exactly
tower
right.
that
Yep,
is forcing us to go within, it's forcing us to change, forcing us to rebuild.
exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot of really good things coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Pluto's all about destruction before building. So some old systems gotta fall away and then we're just gonna rebuild, you know? We're
Mm-hmm.
resilient. Humans are resilient, spirits are resilient. So we're gonna make it through. You know, you
Yeah.
just gotta roll with the punches for a little bit and then we're gonna start to see the results of our efforts and everything that we put into it. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be a beautiful transit in the end. And just keep in mind you're here for this time
Yes.
and that we will you will not be for the next one.
Yes.
I think that is so incredible.
It
We will
is.
never see Pluto in Capricorn again. Well, it's retrograding, but we will never see Pluto in Aquarius again. And I think this is a very special, special time.
Mhm. But you think about it, right? The next couple of retrogrades, Pluto does, it won't go back into Aquarius, into Capricorn, because it's now at what, 0 point in Aquarius, retrogrades back into 29 or 28 degrees off Capricorn. And then as it keeps going forward, it's not going to
Mhm.
retrograde all the way back, because it has to go from 0 to 29 degrees
Yeah,
Aquarius before it moves
yeah,
into Pisces.
yeah,
So you're right. We won't see. So that's why, when we even talk about retrograding energies, they're important too to the story.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shameless plug. I'm creating a healing and manifesting with Mercury retrograde journal.
Oh, good.
Yes,
I need
so
one.
I'm looking to get it out there soon. I'll let you know. And
All
I'll let
right.
the collective know. I think everyone's gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. And if she has a link by the time I upload this video, then it will be in the description box. So you know that. So,
I don't think
but
it's gonna be ready that soon, but it's gonna be ready. So we can even share it with them at a different time. I can come back and
would you guys like to see her come back and talk about her uh what is it?
healing and manifesting with Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde.
Mhm.
I'm so focused on Pluto and Aquarius. I'm like
I know. And I'm throwing
Mercury.
Mercury in there because I'm like, guess what?
Yeah.
Mercury will be retrograding throughout Pluto and Aquarius. So
Whoa.
we gotta start
So
now, right?
and they're gonna be some tough retrogrades, I'm not gonna lie. So
Yes, yes, it will.
but I'm very excited about that. That's the first time I've heard that. So that's an exclusive for all of us.
It is.
So tell everyone where they can find you.
So you can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I am the Kinkii Witch underscore teas because another one of my passion is I'm a tea maker. I'm a spiritual tea maker. I'm guided most of the times when I make up a concoction. It's spirits like this is what I need you to put in here, and this is who I need you to give it to. So I'm like, I boss. But I call myself I'm a healer. So the Kinkii Witch underscore teas, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I do mid-heaven career readings now on
Yes.
my YouTube channel. So I'm slowly releasing the February guidance for the signs. And then I do channel messages, depending on, what galactic force or what kind of message spirit wants me to give out. I work heavily with angels. So a lot of the time I'm working with angels. So go check it out. Let me know what you think.
Yes. And I am Bret Valdez on pretty much just YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, this has been an honor having the Kinkii Witch herself on my channel. I'm just always mesmerized by her connection to spirit. I think she has such a special connection, a special unique connection, and especially with her luminaries too. So make sure to check her out and watch her Midheaven videos. Those are really good, and no one's really doing that. I don't
No,
think
no,
no
and it's
one's doing that.
no, and
So
especially since we're coming out of that Capricorn era where people won't so much be focusing on their careers, you still gotta eat. We still gotta make
okay,
money, right?
it's
So the guidance I've been given, I've seen the effects of Pluto and Aquarius. It's a gentler tone, but people are still moving. Like it's still movement to be made, you know?
okay.
Mhm.
And I'm looking forward to that journal because I'm
Yeah.
gonna need me a couple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Thanks
Yeah.
again for having me on your channel, and thanks again for coming on mine.
Yes.
As I said before, everything that we use will be linked below.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep that just because me as a content consumer,
Yes.
I like to know if someone picks up a card and it's like, oh, I like that card, I like that message, and like sometimes I'll want to pick up that deck. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't earn any commission or anything from it. So it's just a straight Amazon link, so I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about anything like that.
That's the story I told you about the Mystic Martian. Like one of my favorite YouTube creators on here, the Moody Tarot. Like I'm even on her Patreon. That is my girl. When
Yeah.
I'm having a day, I said, hold on, I remember this message. And I'm like, yup, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. This is how I should have handled it. Did I? A little bit, no, yes. I did snap. But so yeah, like when you find somebody on YouTube, man, that hits, it hit. And you
Oh
know,
yeah.
knowing the decks they use, I love and respect them for like, yo, no, this is what I'm using. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
respect,
Yeah.
respect, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess the way I end off my videos is I just say that I'm accepting readings. I'll leave the information down below in the description box, along with everything else I'm going to be leaving. I'm gonna have to remember everything that I'm leaving. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's been a pleasure doing this. And anything you want to say for your outro?
I always say, go check out my other videos, like, comment, share, subscribe. Asheo.
Asheo. And that has been our collective reading on Pluto in Aquarius
Yeah.
and a magical time and a once in a lifetime experience. So I hope you
Oh,
enjoyed,
yeah.
and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.